I do have a go live button. Andy, welcome
Andy, I like
back.
how you say my name like that.
Andy,
Andy, we are back.
we're back. I'm home. You're home. Vegas was amazing. Vegas in this game hasn't been amazing, but they almost closed the gap there, which would have taken the first half over. It would have flipped the result on the first half side. Instead, we go to halftime with the Ravens boasting a 4-point lead, 14-10. Ravens will get the ball first. Ravens and Raiders have each sustained an offensive lineman injury to this point in the game. To the shock of everyone, Henry Ruggs is already hurt. It has been a fine game for the most part. I guess my only real commentary has to do with the haven't loved the ESPN broadcast, but that's fine. We'll save some of that for another day. Although a lot of people glowing,
and
a lot of people glowing
people
about
are already calling out the old
Manning cast. I've been watched any of it. Have you?
Yeah, no, I flipped and saw it. Like I have ESPN Plus, not a big deal.
There we go. Okay, Raiders plus 1.5.
I did just bet the over.
The second half is Raiders plus 1.5, total 24, and I agree with your sentiment. I think the over is gonna tick. What kind of price? We're gonna have to lay some juice though. I don't know if I want to lay
honestly
juice.
Yeah, that's the low alt.
What's the price on that? I'm gonna need to see the price.
Yeah, I wish they should have targets. I mean, like in soccer props, you can bet
bet on shots
completed.
On goal. Yeah,
shots on goal makes total
take a shot
sense,
on goal. Yeah,
you can bet on passes completed. Area, sure. Like I feel like you go to one of these European shots, like aerial tackles or aerial whatever's one and stupid shit like that. I should be able to bet on targets.
Obviously.
Yeah, I already bet the over. And I was red as a tomato. And I put the backpack on in the airport today, and it hurt so bad. I just wanted to lay down on the floor. But yeah, the first half was fun. I didn't love and I know it's a big part of their offense. They do this a lot, but all the extended handoffs, essentially like the swing passes for the Ravens. I felt like this is not a good defense that you have to get sneaky with. You can press it downfield a little. You have some receivers. You have a decent tight end. You have running backs who could probably catch the ball. Latavius Murray should probably retire at halftime. My God.
If they gave him a single touch in the second half, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, Ryan already said, why is Latavius Murray in the game?
Is he?
He looks slow.
He looks so washed, like washer than washed. All your takes were correct.
Carr, I want to ask you about Carr because you're mentioning the pressure, but he's had a couple passes even when he wasn't pressured. It's like overthrow, a little behind a guy.
He's not going through his progressions.
He's not doing his receivers. Yeah, he's not doing his receivers a lot of favors here. Even though Waller is obviously a stud. We said this off air too. Like, put Waller on the Packers. Is he Kelsey?
Yeah.
Like if you get him a good, and the Packers, we can laugh like they had a really bad week, but just say a good quarterback with a good offensive line instead of what we have in Las Vegas. Like he's like Kelsey. I mean, he's very, very good. I don't know if that's crazy hyperbole. Southpaw hack here says
I don't think it is.
Couple balls Carr through.
He had 3 interceptable passes. One was what the first interceptable. Oh, that's a nice look. The first interceptable pass bounced off the turf. ESPN was very confused by the rules of what constitutes a review in today's NFL, which was impressive. But they, of course, reviewed it in a split second. They got it right. Definitely a lot faster than they got the Dalvin Cook fumble wrong yesterday. So I guess good job by the NFL instituting that rule. Have you seen a definitive replay that besides the angle that we saw on the Myerlin Humphrey interception that wasn't an interception?
No, and I don't know how people first, I mean, in real time, I'm like, he might have snagged that off the carpet, and then you see one replay. It's like, that took a hard bounce.
I'm gonna put
it was a wider shot. I was, you're looking at it. It was kind of a. Did you play that?
Yeah, I played it at minus 113. I just wanted to make sure for the record that
I did too. Correct. It's up to like 1920. I don't know. Do you have quick conversions on that? I really would pay 20 cents rather than trying to catch the hook here, although 27 not
no. This is going to tick to 24.5 before too long from now. So if you haven't already got involved, that's what we played. Andy said it within 5 seconds of starting the stream, so you might have missed it. But there were a couple hundred people here already, so hopefully you heard that. Somebody very interesting commentary on a couple of things that I wanted to bring up about this game. Lamar Jackson, comfort in the pocket, hasn't really been there. It looks like some of the echoes of last year where the pass protection was not great for the Ravens are still a little bit in the back of his head. He hasn't been especially patient at times. And I thought you made a great comment that he should be trying to push the ball down the field more aggressively. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I would agree. Sorry, I was typing. I didn't even hear which quarterback you were talking about.
Lamar Jackson pushing the field.
Lamar Jackson.
That was your point. That was your point.
Yeah, we had a couple.
I was trying to tee you up for your own point.
No, he looked good when he was passing, and then obviously the touchdown too. There's a few spots there where it's like, oh man, what are we doing with this offensive game plan? But then you get a little bit of Russell Wilson-esque, and I shouldn't even compare the two. They're their own men, but it does remind me of him where it's like, it's annoying to play Russell Wilson. Hell, it's annoying to play Rodgers sometime when he does this, where it's like, man, you just know your secondary can't cover guys for like 15 seconds. Like when they boots out and scoots around to the right, like that touchdown play, you can't ask your secondary to cover guys for that long. And that was a nice play. He's had a couple where he's been pretty sneaky, squirrely. We haven't seen a long scamper really. I don't know what do you think his longest run was? He's gotten out of the pocket a little, but it hasn't been much. So
I think his long was about 18 yards. Tyson Williams has already made his rushing over prop at 74. Lamar Jackson's longest run was exactly 18 yards. He actually only has
I forgot about
so
that.
far. Yep. He's only taken it across the line of scrimmage 3 times, despite the fact that there have been running lanes. And I wouldn't be surprised if they talk to him in the second half and they're saying, look, we get it. You want to prove you're a passer this year. You're trying to go through your progressions. But honestly, if you feel the pressure and you can, and you can take what you can get, like don't fiddle fuck around with it. And he was doing a lot of fiddle fucking, I felt like, in the first half. What do you think?
Like the amount of fiddle fucking was probably too much. You can allow for a little, but I don't know if we'd go as heavy as that. And yeah, just like I said, honestly, the game plan from both teams. If you had, I was going to say, there was smart enough people that run both sides of this total. And I was really not interested in the total in this one at all. But like if you had the over in this one, you have to be pretty mad at some of the play calling and some of the results from this. If you had the first half under, that got a little squirrely for you. I think we do see probably a little more efficiency from the Ravens offense. God bless Tyson Williams. Everybody and their sister bet like over 60.5. I think he is at 64 yards rushing. Yeah. Look at that. So
yeah, he's good.
They're talking about peeling me peeling like a snake here in 3 days. We'll get to some Urban Meyer talk here after we talk a little bit.
I'll tell you what, though, you did get
Ravens
a little sun. You got a little
stinks.
sun, but you didn't get so much sun that I think you're going to have full on peel. When you're later in the season like this and we're closer to the autumnal equinox, you don't burn as badly, even if you do get a little pink. It's a little note for you. The Urban Meyer stuff, though, is worth spending a heartbeat of time on. We talked about it during the main podcast last night. We were looking for Urban Meyer to be the first coach fired at the low price of 50-1. Did you see what it is today?
20
to 1.
Moving markets, obviously. I think some other people probably hit that too once they realize, like, he doesn't look like he's having fun. He looks like he's not excited to be there anymore.
In the other direction, Cliff Kingsbury moving out of harm's way in that market. Did you see that? He took so some of that margin that was sucked up by Urban Meyer going to the top of the list was absorbed by Cliff Kingsbury, interestingly enough. So it was
there was some Kingsbury hate in the preseason markets, and I mean, it is overreaction week. Do we go from Kingsbury first coach fired to Kingsbury coach of the year?
No,
I mean, no,
because
it's
it
fine.
doesn't last
Like,
all
you don't
season.
get to play Tennessee every week.
And honestly, not only do you not get to play Tennessee all week, you don't get to play Tennessee when they're having an off day every week, and you don't get to his. I guess, did you see any wrinkles in that offense that were like, oh, Cliff Kingsbury's figuring some stuff out, or was it entirely Kyler Murray was just playing God level because the defense had no ability to do anything against him?
I mean, we saw this early season Kyler Murray last year. Like, we talked about that a bunch in the Arizona preview. He was great when he wasn't injured, and he was able to scamper around. People are asking, because I have a Gatorade bottle like I'm going to play, and someone said I could play left tackle. Any college eligibility left, Andy? I've got high school eligibility left, I think. I think I could probably play at least 5 years of college.
Hey,
Tennessee's horrible. Yeah, Tennessee, we expected like, oh, this secondary isn't just going to fix itself overnight. It's going to be a liability. But I think the bigger surprise there was just what do we got to figure out from that one is like, is Tennessee going to take a step back without Art Smith, without John, some things that they're missing? Or was it just like Arizona's defense is finally going to be okay? What are you thinking?
I did some soul searching today because when I updated my numbers, I wasn't close to Tennessee +6. I was not close. And I was like, fuck, that means they're going to get hit. It's going to move off of 6. And I need to make a decision now if I'm going to get involved or not. And I chose not to. So red flag still a wash on that Tennessee Titans team for me. I do not think I'm going to use them in contests. I do not anticipate taking the free points that may exist. Andy went home a winner today. Good work by you. The general thoughts. Let's do a whip around real quick of the opening lines and some of the movement that we saw before we get back into this game. We talked on the stream last night and both bet the Washington football team, New York Giants under 42.5. Woke up this morning, saw 41, pretty much assumed that, confirmed that Ryan Fitzpatrick was not going to play. And it is now the Taylor Heineke show against the mighty Giants defense in a game that both teams must absolutely give you 100%. Neither team can even remotely afford to take a second loss this early in the season and have any hope of winning the NFC East. So this is going to be a highly intense game. And honestly, 4 points for the Giants was too much, but again, I could not get involved there. That should be a 3-point game. This has every likelihood, in my opinion, of coming down to field goals, mostly in the second half in terms of who will win. And I don't have a great answer that Joe Judge and Jason Garrett are going to have the looks to get them in position to do that. So ultimately, Giants win by 3. Total stays well under 42.5. That's what I'm hoping for. Our other 2 totals we took action on yesterday also moved in our favor.
52 over 52 in the Cowboys Chargers game. That one,
I thought we got a better number than that.
There was a 51.5, but I mean, it was 52 is I think what we put up.
Let me take a look at my ticket. I think actually I was 51.
I think I got 51.5, but 52 was kind of the market at that point.
Oh, you know what? As we were talking about that game, I remember it ticked up from 51.5 to 52. You're right. So about 52 is still fine. So that one's at 55 now. That's or 55.5 if you look at the Pinnacle book, if that holds any weight. Over 48 in Philly. San Fran is up as well to 50.5. That's exciting. Some of that was the Jason Verrett news. So we got ahead of that, kind of the one good corner on San Francisco being unavailable for the remainder of the season.
Feel bad for him. He's had a lot of injuries, man. James Cole here says Lions Packers are the highest totals by my numbers.
Ooh, interesting. That's not crazy.
What do we think
Packers
about the Lions? Total? Like if you could do the Eternal Sunshine Spotless Mind thing or the MIB thing, whatever, where you could just not remember all the garbage points, like how would you be feeling about this Detroit team?
I would be feeling that they may go winless.
Yeah, it was pretty rough until they turned. What bank does take the CLV bucks? My bank doesn't.
Good question.
Sure.
There is a guy actually that we are good friends with who's very smart that was like, I'm going to open a CLV bank. There's a way to do that, and I don't know that ever came to fruition.
It's an exchange. Like an exchange. When you get CLV, the number's different, and you trade out of it.
Yeah. So 50. The over in San Fran, the over in Dallas, both look good to me. any other major moves that really caught your attention this morning? There were some. I guess the under got absolutely nuked in Carolina, New Orleans. That's down to 44. I did not see that coming. Not that I thought the over was the side there, but I didn't see it getting hit that hard.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking.
This Pittsburgh Vegas total is going to get hit hard if it opens where they had the look aheads 47-ish, 47.5-ish. I would guess that under gets bet, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, the Raiders defense, while not good on every snap, is at least being, is somewhat feisty. They're generating a little bit of pressure against a good offensive line, so they should be able to repeat that against Pittsburgh. Raiders might be a decent bet actually next week if they're still getting 6 points. Ooh, Lamar Jackson airmails Mark Andrews, and there's a flag on the field. Any other major moves that caught your attention? Houston total up 3 points.
Yeah, and I'm still stuck on the double-digit teams. Cleveland. Like, if you had to bet one of the double-digit teams,
I would take both of them.
No, there's 3. Houston heading to Cleveland, 12.5.
I would bet that.
Atlanta heading to Tampa, 12.5, 13.5.
I guess I pass on
Detroit,
that one,
Detroit,
like
Green Bay, 11 or 10. All of them road ones. Big double-digit road. No, Houston, could you take all 3 and assume 2 get there? I wouldn't assume anything ever.
I think all 3 get there. Personally,
I think my favorite of the 3 is Atlanta, just based off of how bad they look.
Oh, you mean if you had to take a dog?
Yeah,
you take Atlanta. Yeah, the problem is that it's not the right recipe for a cover against the Bucs. What they have personnel-wise in general, it's going to have to entirely be through the air. I guess Sean Murphy bunting out doesn't really change my opinion there. I didn't really get. I mean, the Art Smith concepts that we saw against Philly were pretty uninspiring. Not that like I would expect him to have 2 bad down weeks in a row, but maybe.
Did we? That's going to be my research project.
Denver went back. Denver went back to Denver and has committed to flying east on Friday, a day early this time. So they are going back to Jacksonville from the mountains, but they are going a day early to help acclimate to the weather and acclimate to the time change. So there should be less of an impact, presumably, but not as positive an impact that I would expect from the likes of the Niners, who are staying and getting a concentrated week of practice with no distractions. And I love when that happens. Real quick,
again, we talked about this once. Like Belichick did this like a decade ago with a game, and just like all you could do is pound football into him for a week.
Yeah,
like teams do perform well on. At least they're going a day early. You do need to
you know what?
Acclimate yourself. It took me 4 days to acclimate myself to West Coast time.
There were a couple other moves I want to comment on real quick here while the Ravens get 0 points on their opening drive and take 2.5 minutes off the clock. Cool. The Saints are up to -4 in some places, but -3 in general across the board, from a -3.5 across the board, opening from 3. I think they may be in a similar situation as the Niners, where they're not back in New Orleans, right? They're like at an undisclosed location doing like an extended training camp. Is that correct as far as you can tell?
Yeah, just probably heading somewhere to, hang out, I guess. Like
Lattimore and
like
Davenport
Tennessee did, where they went
out.
to that.
I know Davenport for sure will not play, and he may be out for a while. They've been very cagey. It was a pec injury, which is spooky.
This would make sense. Febby said
they're
back
in
to
Dallas. Yeah, that checks out.
That would make sense.
How badly was Lattimore hurt? Because he was super friggin' important against the Packers, and I wouldn't mind having him on Robbie Anderson or DJ Moore over the course of this week if you were back in the Saints. What do you think?
Yeah, I want to know more about that. I don't know if I want to get involved in that game.
Okay.
I'm not sure I want to get involved in a Green Bay game until I can figure that out.
Oh, Lattimore had a fractured hand. Ooh, damn. Well, bummer for him. Although, a lot of season left. The other notable moves, the New England Patriots have taken some money. You see that? They are up to 5.5, trending 6. How do you feel about a rookie quarterback on the road laying 6?
I mean, it's a rookie quarterback against a rookie quarterback,
So
and
I guess
very
what I'm asking
experienced
are
head
the
coach.
Jets
I'm not-
are the Jets going to be the hot side again?
Do you think it's a setup to take the Jets at 6?
Might be.
Like weekend? That wouldn't. Nothing would surprise me with the Jets.
Honestly, the Jets looked a little better when Beckham was out of the game in terms of pass pro, but at the same time, it was like comeback mode and prevent D on the part of the Panthers. So it's tough to really give that much of an evaluation. Do you have any thought?
Yeah, and I still haven't even dug into that game that much.
The Sixes are gone for Tennessee. The Arizona Minnesota game is interesting. Minnesota is going to be a pretty popular side, I'm guessing, just because people are going to talk themselves into this is too much of a market adjustment in favor of Arizona. We had expected to see Arizona as -3 here. It has been bet out to 4.5 now. So no one wants anything to do with poor Minnesota Vikings. Too many people got brutalized last week, I suppose.
I'm
check
half
out to you?
tempted on that under.
Okay.
If I can make a case in my head that Arizona's defense has actually improved, I'll probably be betting that, which won't feel good.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Bill
I haven't
Belichick
loved a
against
lot
a
of
rookie
somebody's
quarterback,
asking
but
me.
Robert Saleh gets to take on a rookie quarterback as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if there's going to be any super money this week. There was too many people that got burned on them last week. They were a really popular side last week. Our under's not doing so good here, man. The Raiders, excuse me, are over. Yeah, the Raiders are stuck in mud in their own end zone here, calling some minus EV plays.
We'll get there.
Any other moves that I missed as I'm zipping through here? Ooh, 6.5 on the Broncos against the Jags. The Jag side is stinky. Holy shit. Somebody's going to talk themselves into those 6.5 points. Is it going to be me?
Talking themselves damn near a touchdown at home. The team's second straight week road. That's kind of rough.
It's a bad spot. But
and somebody has to, the Arizona
team.
front seven. Like the Arizona front seven looked good against a better offensive line than what Minnesota has to offer. That's where I might be in on that under.
Yeah, that's not a bad look.
And Minnesota's defense might get a little better. I still think that secondary is rough.
There was action to the over on that game. Did you see it?
Yeah.
You think it's
if it keep.
Well, no, but if it's up to 51.
If it's going to be 51, like I can get excited about it under at 51, under 49.5 is no.
What's going on here?
Doesn't move me.
Pretty important flag coming up here in the Monday Night Football game. Let's get some confirmation of what exactly is going on. I think this has been a reasonably fair. This has been a reasonably fair pass interference offense. You're going to walk that one back. It's been a reasonably fairly officiated game so far. I thought there's been some 50-50 calls that would have gone both ways. So credit to the referees for being in Vegas and not being influenced by this very raucous crowd. Yeah, dry heat is better than humidity. Matt is correct. It was like 108 in Vegas on Saturday. I couldn't feel it.
It was kind of hot.
We were outside the whole time.
We were in the pool.
In the pool. All we got, and you got like a little first-degree sunburn. Big deal.
I get home and I wanted to go out to the hammock, and I went back inside to get a sweatshirt. I'm like, oh shit, like it's cold here. This sucks.
3rd and 12. Big
the only other side that I'm kind of monitoring and sitting and thinking on is the Chicago-Cincy line, which is an ugly game to bet on. But Chicago should be Chicago. Yeah, Chicago should be favored versus people, I guess, at home. So your power number is saying Chicago's a point better than Cincy. Maybe 1.5. You give them less for home field. Probably giving Chicago 1.5.
That's an under game. It's ticked down. It was down from 46.5 to 45, but that's still an under game. The slow turf, the long grass.
I'm wondering on the side.
Yeah, I agree with your sentiment. Andy Dalton, I guess what was I'll tell you my number one takeaway from the game last night. You tell me yours. Andy Dalton is not converting a play that's longer than 9 yards in the game.
That's fair.
Their big play is not part of the equation for them.
Yeah, I don't think that's like a long or a deep strike offense when he's out there.
Dude,
He looked pretty
64-yard
bad.
fucking 64-yard.
Yeah, this punter is
32
crazy.
yards.
It is the Andy Dalton revenge game. Three people
buddy.
just said it. That's hilarious.
The red rifle
does Andy Dalton have?
The Ravens got away with a pretty nice block in the back there, but that's fine because we need the points. So, and I need the Ravens, so fine by me. Yeah, generally stated, that feels like an under game. I don't expect to see much of Fields, honestly. I think they're going to continue to sit on Fields until week 4. The Bears get the Browns next week. They're going to be big dogs again. Although, did the Bears' offensive line perform at a bottom 5 level, in your opinion, or were they league average? Because it felt league average to me. Did they play above their skill level on the road against the Rams?
A little, but I also don't love that defensive line outside of one particular fella, really.
On the Bengals D line?
No. Oh, I thought you were talking to the Bears offensive line. As far as last week. Yeah, last week, like they were fine.
Yeah,
but again, we're kind of down on the pass rush.
They weren't triple. They weren't putting 3 hats on Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald had a couple of one-on-one opportunities. He really couldn't make much of them. Jason Peters, the ghost of Jason Peters, did a good job until he got hurt. I don't know if he's expected to come back. They lost another lineman. I guess I'm probably going to play the under there. I would not steer anyone clear of playing the Bengals on the money line because it's not a fair price. Fair here is pick 'em. Maybe Bengals +1, +2, but definitely not 3. So if you're going to get more than 3 points, actually just take the +3. Don't overcomplicate it. There's really, they're probably going to win, but it's as long as it's available at 3. I guess tomorrow morning I would expect to wake up and see that as 2.5. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think we even mentioned that Sunday, like that 3 might not be there forever.
I think we did too. That's pretty true.
Last one, and then I got to go home because I went to Circa at like 9, maybe 10 to cash a ticket that I had the Rams in, and then I walked over to the Nugget. And I was like, I'll play craps. And I have like this craps thing to get me out of there. It's like, if 2 shooters in a row lose me money, I'm gone. I'll gone. Like I made that rule. And like we had the one guy who was like doing the things with the dice where he just took forever and had to line them up. And then he'd pick his hands up and take his mask off and yell like shooter shoots. And like it was some goofy kid. And he took forever, but it was working. And I think I was there for 4 shooters and it took like 2 hours. Like it was just all slow shooters that shot pretty well. We made some money. So like I got back to bed at like 2, just 4 my time. And then I had to get up decently early to get on the flight. So I'm struggling today.
So is this a long discussion about why you're not talking about the Bills Dolphins thoughts? Or was those
I'm saying we'll get to Bills Dolphins.
Okay.
That is it. That is it.
I have some Bills Dolphins thoughts for you. There are people out there talking to themselves into the Dolphins to the right side. So you do not need to scramble and rush and get the 3s now. They'll be available later in the week. That's my thought.
I think you'll see pretty even action on this one.
Yeah. I think that's going to be 2-way action. Maybe it closes 3.5. But if you are like, holy crap, I can't believe I can get the Bills on a bounce back spot at 3, like you will be able to get them at 3 for a couple more days. So absorb the info.
Absorb it. Take it in.
Nice little move by Lamar. Lamar is using a little bit more of his athleticism this half, which is interesting and exciting. They gave Latavius Murray another freaking handoff, though. Why? Why is he in the game?
Yeah, and the second half, I mean, the live total is sitting right there.
I'm trying to imagine any reason you would have.
I mean, we're not too far off right now.
I'm trying to imagine any reason you would be, as a coach, would be like, well, the ball's going to be snapped. It's going to be in Lamar Jackson's hands. I'd like him to take that ball and put it into Latavius Murray's hands. Why would you just make that decision if you're the coach? I don't.
I mean, I would have cut him at halftime. Like I've been pretty clear on this.
He now has 5 carries for 10 yards. He is grinding, as they say.
Need to get him that 20 carry mark. So, all right, I'm
No.
going to I need some water.
He's wearing
some
down
more.
the defense.
I don't. This is how bad Vegas went. I can't even afford Tums. I have Walgreens brand antacids.
Yeah, we usually.
I'm kidding. It was fine.
We usually do overtime until there's a score one way or the other that helps or hurts. All right.
I'll hang out.
It's second and 4 on the 20. Overall, week 1 pretty entertaining for you.
Oh God, there was some
super bad play.
Good games, really good games, and I really even though it was hairy for me and you on the Browns, like that game was electric. It's funny, some of the best games were the ones that had me the most scared. I had San Francisco in a teaser. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna get the ball back again. What the fuck is this? I don't need this in my life. Yeah, and like the Browns game that got hairy. The end of the total for the Giants game, there were some things that were happening that I didn't love. So, I mean, some of the most fun games were excited. Biggest overreaction line, in your opinion?
Probably the Broncos. I mean, it's the biggest reactionary. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. But I can actually kind of defend it because the Giants defense is good. Like, and Teddy Covers can do what Teddy Covers does, but they looked okay.
Oh, 3 more touchdowns for a push. Let's go.
Yes. All right, we got points.
More than half a quarter left, so
yeah, live total's 47. So we're not too far behind. We just need a pick 6 on the first play and then a kickoff touchdown.
Yep.
We're gonna win one of these ones. Like, it sucks that we can't get a halftime play because like we had winning weekends. We both did good in the contests.
Yeah.
My fantasy team that auto drafted is an absolute truck. I sent you that. That team's my only good team. I got to figure out how to kick this JC guy out. Fuck him. Like, say it once. We get it, buddy. Like, nobody likes you. All right, let's call her.
I guess I'll go get on my burners.
That's cold. I know, but like we get it. The bit's over, buddy. You're fading it. It's fine.
I'm gonna go get on my burner now and go on some periscopes and act like a shithead. That'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
usually we don't even engage, but
I don't really give a shit one way or the other, but that's fine.
So 17-10, let's go for some more points. And honestly, I really just need Baltimore to cover. I got my running back props.
You know what would be my ideal next drive?
What's that?
Pick 6.
Yeah,
let's finally get that.
I joked about it.
Let's finally get that car interception that he's been teasing so long and take it to the house, guys. Marlon Humphrey, when you intercept
he has tried to throw a couple picks.
Marlon, when you intercept the next one, hold on to it and run it back for a touchdown. I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. Best of luck, man. Enjoy the second half.